Hey guys, welcome to Connect with Katie. I'm so glad that you can join me. I just wanted to let you know the program that I use for my awesome podcast. It's called Anchor. This program is free. There's creation tools that allow you to record and edit your podcast right from your phone and your computer. Also, will distribute your podcast for you so it can be heard on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and many more. Also, you can make money with no minimum listenership. Best thing is everything you need to make a podcast all in one place. Welcome to Connect with KT. It's your host, Katie. I am here with Kamladevi Sharma. She is the co-founder of Revive. She is a certified life coach, business consultant, mindset genius. She has helped over 4,000 people, 250 businesses, and she has helped you to become the best version of yourself. So without further ado, why don't you go ahead and introduce yourself, introduce your business, and kind of talk about how you got to where you are today.
Thanks, Katie. I'm MBA qualified from the University of Bradford, and I have professional life coaching certificates and in counseling as well. I live in Guyana with my husband and three sons, and I am really passionate about helping management professionals achieve balance in their lives and thrive in dynamic situations. In the process, empowering them to show up as the best version of themselves in both their personal and professional lives. And that's something that we're super focused on at Revive. Revive is, as you mentioned, I co-founded it, and that was with my sister, Soshini, and we did that in
Mm-hmm.
September 2017. So Revive is really inspired by my journey to rediscovering myself and my passion and managing my challenges in such a way that I can bloom rather than allow them to floor me. So it was me really seeking
Mm-hmm.
balance in my life from leaving my full time job in March 2016 when I was 3 months pregnant with my first son. And that was a job that I had really loved, but I had loved it so much that I stopped loving myself. I was super successful, but after I began to work some long, understaffed hours, I extended my time and my energy towards that job, and I lost track of my health, and I got pregnant, which I didn't have any choice but to leave. So when I left, it was actually the first time since I had become financially dependent on someone in my 11 years of working. And I didn't know how to be that person. So I would have spent some time trying to figure myself out, trying to manage my emotions, manage my frustration in general. And I started online proofreading and editing. And from my online jobs, I felt like a little bit of confidence in myself because I was still contributing to my home, which was a project that I had paused while I was working because I didn't have time for it. So since I had left the job and I now had more time and energy in my hands, my focus was just on getting the home done. And being 3 months pregnant, there isn't much that you can physically do. And as you know, keep on growing, there isn't much that you can do. But I kept on working on me. I kept on doing the personal development work. I kept on looking at my mindset and trying to improve on myself. We still didn't get the home finished in my first pregnancy, and that kind of disappointed me. But we kept on going. My husband and I kept on going. And 8 months after delivering my first son, I got back pregnant. Now, that was something that I was totally unprepared for. That was a challenge for me to deal with because my number one goal was to move in my home before expanding my family, and that didn't happen. So, the kind of anger and frustration and sadness that really came up around then, even though it was such a joyful moment, like I felt a little heartbroken that I didn't get what I wanted when I wanted it, and it was actually the first time that I was like disappointed to that extent in my entire life because I grew up very comfortable. But anyways, we still didn't get the home finish by the ending of that pregnancy. That was actually a premature pregnancy, so my son was born like 6 weeks before time, and I just decided just before finishing that pregnancy, I said, I couldn't handle the online jobs anymore. So I was going to do life coaching. And life coaching was something that has always been natural to me because since I've been in school, I've
Mhm.
always had people coming to me and just open their world up to me, and they felt so comfortable and
That's
confident in
awesome.
doing so, right? So I've always been
Mhm.
intuitive, and I've always been able to attract that side of people. And I was like, it doesn't really take any kind of time and energy to do it, and it just integrates so well into my life. So I did it, and I started it, and
Amazing.
it went really well. So after that pregnancy, I kept on growing. I kept on growing in the business. My sister was there, and she was there to guide me in whatever way too, because she did some amazing readings. And
Mhm. Awesome.
14 months after my second pregnancy and delivery, I got back pregnant. Now, at that time, I was like floored. I'm like, really? Like, this is a time that I really wanted to take my business to the next level. And I like feeling so confident at what's happening. And I'm seeing the improvements and the kind of changes that I'm making in people's life. And I know I'm on the right track, that this is what I'm meant to be doing. This is my love. This is my passion. This is what I'm meant to be doing. And now you bring to me another pregnancy. I was like, so there was a little fight there going on, and I had no choice but to deal with it, right? And still, we weren't in our own
Right.
home. But in that pregnancy, I had really opened up to my inner child and into my true self. I can say that because, like, I had grown so much and I had applied so many different tools and techniques, and I've learned so much about myself that I was more in control of my emotions and the way I was thinking. So even though I was pregnant, I had a really better mindset. And it did take a physical blow to my body, but and I did had like this pregnancy was the most painful of all. But at the end of it, like the way
Mm.
in which that I was able to manage that mentally and emotionally was way better than I could have in the first two. So that's how I knew that I was really growing, and I was really improving and evolving as an individual. So we didn't finish
Awesome.
the home at the time that I got pregnant, but just 12 days before giving birth to my last son, we were able to move into our home. And that really happened because I was able to shift my mindset. I was able to shift my energy
Mhm.
to allowing more ease, more flow, to allowing my husband to take care of me, to allowing my family to support me. Because all along I've had this support, all along I've had people there
Mhm.
that were there cheering me on and giving me guidance, but it was me. I was the problem. I wasn't able to allow it to happen. And while building our home, like there was this phase that we ran into so much of red tape with the bank and the ministry, and it was so
Mhm.
frustrating. But the minute I
Right.
decided,
I
I'm not
bet.
going to allow this to shift me, I'm not going to allow this to floor me anymore, that's when things started to flow and really opened up for me. So, Revive is really all about being able to overcome challenges in your life and striking that balance in the way you're thinking, the way you're
Yeah.
feeling, in both your personal and your professional life. It's a true reflection of my growth, and I keep on growing in this way. And because I know all these tools and I've been able to apply it to myself. I've known the mindset patterns. I'm now able to elevate people in their lives and help them to break free from the cycle. So yeah, that's really
Mhm.
how Revive came about.
Well, that's amazing. I mean, the what I really love about, your story too is that you looked at all your challenges is kind of something that, when every time you went through it, you knew that you kind of just had to shift your mindset at the, you know what I mean, towards the end
Yeah,
you went back and you reflected, and it's really awesome that you were not awesome that you had to go through those experiences,
right.
but that you're able to just come out of it and be so powerful and just so inspiring to talk about and not be afraid to open up and talk about those things that you went through. So that's really awesome. And and like you said, it's about healing and it's about your mindset and your, the state of being that you're in. So that's really cool. Um, and then
Yeah.
also, I wanted you to also talk about the program that you have going on right now as well. That the 12-week program that you were talking, I think you said 12 weeks, and just kind of talk
Yeah.
about that and how people can benefit from that program.
Okay, so currently we are enrolling persons for our momentum training for balancing your personal and your professional life. It's a 12 weeks program. It's one-on-one mindset coaching with me, and it's really about being ready to strike that balance in your life for more ease, more flow, more joy, more success, and more abundance. It's structured in a way where that you get full-time access to myself for coaching to boost your momentum. We work through some workbooks so that you can get clear on your mindset and align with your goals. We do visualization exercises. We have some NLP exercises where you're consciously managing the story you're telling yourself so that you can keep on growing and blooming. There's training modules to learn from. You get 8 specially designated private calls to me. And those professionals who are working and studying are also entitled to a bonus momentum training on being successful at exams, as well as 50 questions, 50 self-check questions in order for keep your momentum growing.
Awesome.
So the momentum training is really my signature product at Revive. We have other services on the go, like there's coaching calls that you can connect with. There are healing sessions. If you need a soul reading or a Reiki session, you can get that on the website. We have an incredible
Awesome.
Revive and Thrive meditation series that I would have channeled just last year when I was reviving from my emotions. And there is the momentum training that is incredible and has been making significant changes in people's life. So in addition to doing the personal work and looking at the person's story, there are four main things that we aim to teach you and empower you with. So the first is how to create a positive momentum around your goals and how to raise your vibration so that you can keep on achieving your goals faster and enhance your professional life in the process. The second is how to make deliberate choices so that you can foster a positive momentum, even if things are working against you. The third is how to allow yourself to be in flow and receive from the universe with ease in both your personal and your professional life, because this is something that I didn't know of, right? My culture didn't
Hmm.
um, prepare me for it. So it was something that I really had to learn when I had that time after my after working. And then the fourth one is how to trust that things are always going to work out for you for your highest good. And this is really a reflection of
Right.
me because 4 years ago, if someone would have said to you, you know, Kamala, you are going to be married, you're going to be in your own home, and you're going to have 3 kids 4 years from now, I'm going to be like, you're kidding me. No way. Because I never envisioned, I never envisioned my life being this way.
Mm-hmm.
But it really did work out for the best because there was something that I always said to myself that I think I attracted this situation in my life. I've always said that 5 years from now, I don't want to be babysitting and waking up in the nights to feed a kid. So I think because like I was
Hmm.
so determined on that and I knew to myself that I wanted a specific number of kids, I think that's why my
Right.
pregnancies happened the way they did. And everything was just like divinely planned and divinely placed into my life. So I just stopped complaining
Hmm.
altogether and just went with the flow so that I can keep on thriving.
And that's amazing because really, I mean, it's easy for us to say, oh, go with the flow, go with the flow. But really, a lot of people don't realize that they aren't going with the flow.
Exactly.
They're not living their day-to-day lives, going with the flow.
And it
So
depends
that's
too, because
amazing.
sometimes we go with the flow and we get lost in it. Like we're so not aware of what we're doing. We're not making deliberate
Mm-hmm.
decisions, and we just lost in the entire
Very,
process
very
of it.
true.
So, what I teach people in this program is how to get in control of yourself, how to be the leader of your thoughts and
Mm-hmm.
your emotions, so that you can have that balance. Because for me, like self care was a problem. I didn't even know how to take care of myself. And really and truly, self care doesn't have to be anything elaborate and tedious. It can just be the story you're telling yourself as you go about your daily activities. For example, in like washing the
Mm-hmm.
wares, instead of just think of it as you're just washing the dishes. Well, I'm just washing away all these negative thoughts and emotions that are boiling up within me right now. I'm just washing away this negative vibration I just received from this person in the office. I'm just washing away this
Mm-hmm.
this incident where this person just yelled at me for no reason. Like if you set the intention
Mm-hmm.
and if you put yourself out there to keep on rising, to keep on thriving, to keep on seeking more ease and flow, that's what you will attract. And if
Mm-hmm.
you start taking those deliberate steps to just let go of what isn't serving your highest good, you will really feel the benefits of living your authentic self. And this is what my passion is all about, getting you connected to who you truly are, getting you to revive from whatever
Right.
you're going through and really feel alive and well in your entire life.
Oh, that's amazing. I mean, you have a very beautiful voice, by the way. It's very nice to listen to you talk. So I'm sure I can see how people have benefited from you. Um, but I also, you had me thinking, like right now, and this isn't something we even talked about, but you had me thinking about right now, a lot of people are home with their kids, right? A lot of people right now, especially in the United States, because you're in South America, we're in, there's a lot of women, mothers now that are have to be at home with their kids, and that they're going to have to choose to work from home. And and a lot of your focus is the balance in the personal and professional, right? Because now
Right.
you have your kids in the bunch. So
Mhm.
if you wouldn't mind, like maybe is there any tips that maybe you could give, just a couple to these moms out here right now that could help with that are kind of new to this, to working from home and having their kids with them?
Yes, certainly. So was even one of my challenge because of COVID. My kids are at home with me, and then my business was escalating, and I just had to shift things around completely to accommodate them and be there with them. So something that I used to notice with myself was that I was caught up in my mind for a few days, and I wasn't able to be there in the moment with them. So I think that's the number one thing that you want to do as a mom, or if you're any professional or you're working at home and you have your kids to deal with, you want to disconnect from that working zone and connect with what's happening right now, what you need to deal with right here and now, and deal
Mm-hmm.
with that. Because if you're caught up in your mind and if you're
Right.
seeking solutions in your mind and you're always busy minded, and these kids are in front of you demanding your attention, they're asking you to get things done, and you're still focused in what's happening up there, the minute they come to you, you're going to
Right.
react negatively, you're going to get angry, you're going to get frustrated, and you're going to send that
Right.
energy
Mm-hmm.
out over to them. So it's really important that we practice being aware in the moment. Bring our focus back to our breath. This is something that I tell my professionals all the time. If you know that you struggle with overwhelm and stress and you're always caught up in your mind, just bring your attention back to your breath as often as possible and feel the weight of the clothing on your body. The minute you feel the weight of your clothing on your body, you're knowing
Right.
that you're grounding yourself. So, grounding is super important when you're going about your daily activities and trying to be able to be productive in your professional life as well as manage what's happening at home. So just try as much as possible to be aware in the moment,
Mm-hmm.
bring your focus back to your breath, take a few deep breaths in and out, and keep on dealing with what you have to deal with in the moment. When you're talking to the kids, talk to them in the
Mm-hmm.
moment. Don't bring up their mistakes from yesterday and past 10 weeks whenever they make it again in the moment. Correct them in the moment and try to keep on
Mm-hmm.
helping them to build themselves from what is going on in the moment. Now, you as an individual and having to balance this aspect of your life, because this is going to demand your time and energy, as well as having to stay clear and focused on your working goals. How do you manage that? Now, when you are engaged in different activities at home, like if you got to do your laundry now, you got to wash the dishes, if you got to do your cooking and whatever else you are doing in the home, try to be as mindful as possible in those activities and manage the story you're telling yourself. So if you're in front of the stove and you're cooking and your mind is still racing on how am I going to get this done, how am I going to get this done, and you're not paying attention to what's happening there,
Mm-hmm.
then you're going to find that you keep on losing time and energy and you keep on making mistakes. So the energy will work against you, and you'll
Mm-hmm.
find that you'll have to spend more time and more energy cleaning up the mess or trying to fix a situation when it
Yep.
could have been avoided altogether if you were just mindful in what you're doing. And if you are managing the story you're telling yourself. So if you tell yourself that I have enough time and I'm going to get this done by XYZ time, you're going to get it done. You just need to do some planning. Set the
Right.
intention to plan your day,
Hmm.
reflect on your day in the evenings so that you can see where you went wrong, where you want to improve, and you plan your next day. The minute you start planning and you have goals settled in your mind, you're giving your energy something to work towards. You're giving your mind something to work towards.
Right.
Many times we're so unconscious that we're not giving ourselves anything to work towards. So we're just going through the routine day in and day out, and we're allowing life to happen at us rather than deliberately creating what we want it to be and feel like. So that's my advice to them. Plan a little bit
Right.
more, be more mindful in your activities, be present as much as possible, and nurture your own self awareness.
Oh, that was a great tip because I'm not gonna lie, I have to when you were talking about, I do try to live in the moment, but I thought about it and I'm like, there are definitely times where I'm,
Mm,
cooking in the kitchen or something and I'm getting frustrated and I'm thinking about something
yeah,
and then my daughter will come and ask me a question and I'll get snappy and I'm like, "Oh, you know what I
yeah,
mean?" It made me think about that because
mhm,
I was
yeah,
so caught up in all the crap, that bills and
yeah,
whatever else I was thinking about.
yeah.
I was like, wow, that just made me reflect on what I was doing. So
Yeah, you just
that's
need to
really
disconnect. Get
that's
away
a
from
very,
the
very
mind
good tip.
and yeah, yeah.
Hmm. Awesome. So I think that if there's anything else if there's any other tips that you want to give right now, I'm sure anybody would appreciate that. Other than that, I know I would like for you to mention, your website and then how they can contact you, and then any other information about, anything you have
Mhm.
coming up, events, lives, anything like that.
Okay. So I do want to mention this for those who are listening. In balancing your life, if you know this is something that you're constantly challenged by, there are a few habits that you would want to look at. If you have the difficulty in saying no politely and you're always people pleasing, that means that self care is not a priority for you and you want to change that. So you want to practice saying no politely. Secondly, if you do not have personal boundaries, if you feel guilty in creating boundaries between your working life and your home life, then you're going to find that you get easily stressed and overwhelmed. So it's important that you get some rules going in your personal life and have some in your professional life so that you can maintain balance in both and you need to stick to them. I mean, of course, you're going to make adjustments to accommodate whatever emergencies, but at the end of the day, you need to stick to the rules and be sure that you are worthy of having personal time and taking care of yourself in the process. And lastly, usually we find that people who do not have a vision of their life, who do not have a strategic plan of their life, are often those who feel challenged by any situations that they do not expect in their life. And that takes them off balance. So if you do a vision
Hmm.
planning, if you do some strategic plan of your life, look at where you came from in the past 5 years, where are you now, and where would you like to go in the next 5 years? If you put a plan down to that extent, you'll find that you have specific things that you'll work towards, and you'll find that the energy will be able to guide you to attract those things into your life. Now, when it comes to helping professionals to balance their personal and professional lives, and anyone who may be interested in our program, our 12 weeks program, they can check the website https://revive.coach. Persons can email me at info@revive.coach, and there's our Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube on the website that you can connect to us with. My name is Kamladevi Sharma, and if you just look me up on Facebook or Instagram or LinkedIn, you will find me, and we can connect from there. So, as long as anyone wants to balance their life, as long as they have the desire to get out of what they're going through, and just to welcome more ease and flow, and definitely more abundance, then this is the program for you because it's going to empower you to have the tools that you need to strike that balance and to really feel alive and well every day.
Awesome. Well, thank you so, so much. I am so happy that I had you on here. It's so awesome that I got, a life coach. And, I know that you do amazing work. I can just tell, and I can tell that you have so much passion for it. It's nice to hear. It's just almost like I can feel your energy through the head, through the phone. It's amazing.
Mm.
So thank you so, so much for being on here. I'm so happy to have you, and I'm hope that we can do more podcasts in the future.
Sounds great, Katie. Thanks a lot for having me too.
Yes. Okay. Thank you.